Hi everyone, this is Brittany DeBarros from Luxe Custom Designs, and we're here ready to jump into our very first how-to video. So we're going to start at the beginning, which is what supplies do you even need to get started? And these are going to be supplies that you can use to cover almost any item you want in sparkly crystals. And I decided that the best way to start off would be to show you the end result that we're working towards. So this is not a complete before because I already started covering the platform here. This platform used to just be a simple red like the rest of the shoe. And these are just some simple, inexpensive shoes I purchased at Target years ago. And with the materials that I'm about to show you, I covered it and in these very sparkly, beautiful crystals that as you can see, spice up the shoe a little bit, make it look a lot more expensive. So let's get started. We're going to start first with the things that you must have, and then I'll show you some variations or some pro tips that will make your life a little bit easier, especially if you're going to cover an entire shoe because that's thousands of crystals. So with that, the very first thing you're going to need are crystals, obviously. So these, the ones I order come in packets like this. I typically order mine from a site called blingasm.com. I'll post links in the info section, so for easy access. But I like them because they have a decent quality and relatively inexpensive resin crystal. I'll talk about that in a second. But they also ship from the United States, so I can get them a little bit more quickly than when I order on eBay from somewhere in China. That said, there are 3 different major types of rhinestone crystals. So the first type, which are the type that I used for these shoes and I'm holding here, are resin crystals, so a resin rhinestone. These are the least expensive, but still sparkly and beautiful, as you can see. And they are different than the acrylic crystals that you're going to get in a Michaels or in your local craft store. So it is important that you order them either on eBay by searching for resin rhinestones or through a site like blingasm.com that specializes in a little bit of a higher quality rhinestone. And then the other 2 types are glass, which is kind of your mid-range price, but still is going to be at least double the price of resin rhinestones. And then actual crystal. So those are going to be your Swarovski or whatever other brand you order, but those are going to be significantly more expensive. But they are clearer and brighter, so you definitely are getting an added value for your money. And the reason it's important that you don't get rhinestones for these purposes from your local craft store are because my recommended glue is E6000, which is an industrial strength glue that will melt the backs of your everyday acrylic rhinestone that you get at a Hobby Lobby or at a Michaels. So this stuff is serious. It works on almost any surface. You definitely want to make sure they have white and they have clear. You want to make sure that you get clear so that the glue shows as little as possible. And it also dries pretty quickly. So some people use other glues, especially for clothing, like gem tack. But I prefer E6000 because it dries more quickly and it's better for a firm surface like a shoe or a handbag or something like that. It has a stronger hold. The downside of it drying more quickly is that you can't spread it, you can't swab it over a large area. You need to precisely place it and then place a few gems and then place a little bit more, which is why my next recommendation is that you use a syringe. So you can get these at most local craft stores. I got these at a craft store here in New York City, but you can also order them online or buy them at blingasm.com. And they're definitely cheaper if you order them online. And usually what I do is order, I have a number of different sized tips, but I think that for most purposes it takes longer and your hand gets more tired because there's more pressure. But having a smaller tip is usually better because it allows you to be more precise when placing the glue. And so in our future how-to videos, I'll tell you a little bit more about using a syringe, but definitely I did these original shoes using just a popsicle stick and spreading the glue, and it took so long at first that by the time I needed to do these little details, I ended up switching to a syringe. So the next thing is you're going to want something that helps you place these. And some people use a tweezer, or they'll use a toothpick with a little bit of wax at the end. I would go insane if I did that. So my personal preference so far, and I'm still experimenting, but so far my personal favorite is this Pick Me Up tool. It has this nice, basically like silly putty in the tip, where you tighten it and a little bit more comes out, and you kind of shape it into a point, and then it allows you to, it's just sticky enough to pick up the crystals and then place them where you want them. But it also has this nice kind of spreading tip at the end where you can, kind of move crystals around as you need. Very, very useful. And I think I bought it for like $15 on Amazon, maybe a little bit less. You'll also see in craft stores, if you need something quickly that you can't order, you'll see like, I think I bought these in Michael's. I bought a pack of them. This is a wax tip. And it'll, as you can see though, the problem is that it's a very blunt edge. So if you're trying to pick up tiny, tiny crystals and place them in very specific places, it's going to be a little bit more challenging, but this will work if you need something. Or what I first mentioned, which is, the DIY version of just a toothpick with some wax at the tip and using that to pick up the pieces. Will do the job for you. So those are the things you absolutely need to do this. One tool that I consider a must-have now that I've been doing this for a little while is this, what's called a magic tray, that I also ordered from Blingasm. I think they're $1 a piece and completely worth the investment. As you can see, it has these little ridges which allow you to place crystals. They're 2 different sized spacings, and it allows you to place the crystals on here, and you just shake the tray and it helps them flip over. So I'll demonstrate a little bit here so you can see we have a bunch that are flipped over, and I'm shaking it a little bit, and a bunch of them are right side up, making it easier for you to pick them up and be done with them. So that is our quick what do you need to get started, and I look forward to seeing you on our next how-to video, which is getting started on the technique of actually creating these beautiful designs. Cheers.